Welcome to the amazing world of Linux. Linux powers undoubtedly some of the most powerful operating systems ever written in computer science history. With over 70% of the supercomputers running Linux based operating systems, Linux surely is a big deal. So, what are the benefits of Linux? And before that, what is Linux? So Linux is a kernel of, a, of an operating system, just like human beings have the heart. So we human beings have the heart, which ensures that blood travels across the body. So it's very vital organ, or it performs very critical functions in the body. Likewise, the kernel of this operating system, of any operating system, performs different critical functions such as memory management, input output device management, and other features or other functions which makes the computer hardware work, or else computer hardware will be left practically useless. So to make these computer components useful, kernel plays a very important role in operating systems. So it allows user, the operating system allows user to interact with the computer hardware with the help of kernel. So kernel performs all the critical functions of interacting with the hardware and operating systems. Also, every operating system has got a kernel, without which the operating system won't work at all. So what are the key benefits of using Linux? Linux is open source, which means that you can play with the source code by downloading it from the website of the Linux. You can share, you can contribute the code to the organization as well. It's free, so you don't have to pay a dime for it, for getting the Linux. You can just go and Google Linux and you will find hundreds of resources from where you can download the Linux based operating systems. It's 100% legal to download the Linux based operating system, so you don't have to worry about the piracy. Hence it's 100% legal. Also, Linux based operating systems are very secure, which means that you won't be infected by any virus, because that happens very rarely. So you shouldn't be afraid of viruses, spywares, and other malicious scripts, because they can't really affect Linux unless you do something very stupid, which doesn't happen very frequently. So what is GNU Linux? GNU Linux is a Linux kernel powered operating system. So when we call GNU slash Linux, which it represents operating system, because Linux is the kernel, while all the different softwares or different software packages are having the GNU license. So together they form an operating system. So some of the examples of GNU Linux operating systems are Ubuntu, Debian, Red Hat Linux, Gentoo, OpenSUSE, Fedora, and there are several hundreds other. So what is command line interface? So when you want to access any machine using any operating system, so it will provide you two kinds of interfaces. First is command line interface, and second is graphical user interface. So talking about the command line interface, it won't be having any graphics at all, which means that it will be deprived of the images. So you will be given, or you will be given some kind of text, and you have to do everything with the text and the console, a black screen or a white screen with either black or white text color. So also it leaves very small memory footprint, because it doesn't need any images. It doesn't require very high RAM. So in case you have a very old computer, which, let's say, which has about hundreds of megabytes of RAM, or several GBs of hard disk, then there are multiple Linux based operating systems available, which can run on these kinds of machines which are having really small or really low configuration. a Linux power user, which means that a user which really wants to leverage the power of Linux, he or she needs to know dozens of commands of Linux. Dozens are a bit smaller amount, but it will be about 20 to 100, depending on what stage you are on this learning curve of Linux. So eventually you will learn these commands, and we will be starting with very easy commands, and eventually we will move to more advanced commands. So let's begin our journey of learning Linux. So now the first command we are going to cover is man command. Man command is really very important command in Linux, Unix. So just type man. So it says that what manual page do you want? So basically man stands for manual. So let's read the manual of the man command. So just type man, space man, and press enter. So now you will see the manual page of the man command. So as it says that man, format and display the online manual pages. So basically it shows you the manual pages of any particular command. So in synopsis we can see that we have man command and then different kinds of parameters which we can use with the command, and we will understand this once we'll start using different commands besides man command. So in description we can see that man formats and displays the online manual pages. If you specify a section, man only looks in that section of the manual. So because every manual page has got so many sections, and if you really want to skip to any section, then you can do that as well. It will save you time, because if you are looking for anything very specific, then you can just directly go over there at that particular section. And then there are different options which are available with this command. So essentially this is how it looks like. Very plain text-based manual pages without any images, graphics at all, because this is command line interface, so we can't expect any images to be here. Then we have tips, bugs, author who actually wrote this particular command, and then what kind of associated or similar commands are there in this particular command. So we have learned about man command. So in the next video we will start with ls, which is list command. So basically it shows you, or it lists down all the files and directories available in that particular folder in which you are. So now we will start with ls command. So what is ls command? ls stands for list. So basically, if we are inside a folder, we will always be inside a folder when we are in Linux. So just see, if you will just type ls, so what will happen is it will show you some files or some names. So what are they? So before that, let's go to ls's manual page. So just type man space ls, and it will show you manual page of ls command. So we can see that it says ls list directory contents, then synopsis, ls, and all the available parameters which can be used with this particular command. Then in description we can see that for each operand that names a file of a type other than a directory, ls displays its name as well as any requested associated information. So what do you mean by that? Let's go back and see. So if you will just type ls, so we can see there are aij something, then B, C. So if you will type ls space hyphen L, so it will show you details about these particular data or names. So what are they? So they are, if there is D in the extreme left side, it means it's a directory, while if there is hyphen, then it means that it's not it's a file. So in Linux or Unix there will be two things, for either anything will be a file or it will be a directory. And now what we can see is on the left side in the first column we have the file permissions, then we have the username and the group name and the size of the file and the date on which it was created or modified and the file or folder's name. So these are the details which are provided by ls-l command. So now what we'll do is we will so in array system there can be some hidden files as well. So how to see the hidden files? So in Linux every hidden file is denoted by a full stop in the beginning of any file name. So let's say, so first of all let's see if there are any hidden files or not. So we can see that we have dot and then dot dot, which really doesn't mean much. So we only care about A and these four. So let's create a hidden file. So this will be a bit of technical, so let's not focus on this, but bottom line is we have to understand what or how does any hidden file looks like. So when we have just created a hidden file. Now what we'll see is if it is visible or not. So we can see only 4 files are there in this directory. So when we typed ls space hyphen L command, and now we really want to see the hidden file as well. So how do we do that? Just type ls then hyphen al, so there is a space between these two, and then press enter. Now we can see that we have .ht as well, and this ht has come because we created a file called .ht in this step. So now we can see that we have 5 files in this particular folder, and this is the file size, and we can see the time as well. So just now we learned about how to use ls command, how to really see the details of the files which are available in the folder, and then how to see the hidden files as well. So when you are a beginner, you must know these 3 things, because these are very essential for accessing the files or folders in Linux using Commandline Interface. Now we will learn about how to create a new file in Linux. Now going back to our ls-al command, we can see that we have about 3 directories in this folder. We have a directory called A, then we have a directory called B, then we have a directory called C. So to get into any directory you have to type cd, which is change directory, and then space, and then the directory's name in which you want to enter. So just type A. So now we are inside the directory called A, and we can check it by the fact that earlier on we were in the directory being skilled. Now we are inside the directory called A, and A is over here. And what are the contents inside A directory? So just type ls, and we can see nothing because there is nothing inside it. So how do we really create a new directory? So just type mkdir. Mkdir is the command to make directory or create a new directory So if you want to add or create multiple directories, then just enter the names of these directories followed by a space. So now we are just going we are going to create 6 directories, namely A B C D E F. And how do we really check if they have successfully created or not? So just type ls space hyphen al, and if you do that, you can see that we have A B C D E F and we have D in the extreme left side, which means that these all are directories, not simple files. So now we have learned about how to create a new directory and how to get inside or enter any directory. So let's get into directory called B. So earlier on we were in directory A, in which we created 6 directories, and now we will get into the subdirectory of the folder A. So the directory's name is, let's say, F. So just type cd space F and then press enter. Now we are inside the directory F, and we can see that F has replaced A, because earlier on we were in A, but now we are in F directory. And let's create other 5 directories with absolutely random names. Now if you will just press Control or type ls space hyphen al, then we can see that we have created about 5 new directories. And now, how to get back to A directory? So you have to type cd, then space, and then dot dot. So now we are in directory A. Now you want to go back to the directory being skilled. So just type cd space dot dot again. So now we are in being skilled. So earlier on we were in being skilled and we went to A, then we went to F, and now going back to F and then A and then being skilled by the command cd space dot dot. So this is how we navigate through the directories, and this is how we create a new directory in Linux or Unix. Now how do we really remove any directory? So just for that we have a command called rmdir, and then just enter the file's name or folder's name, sorry. Press enter. So it says that directory is not empty. So how do we really delete that directory? Just type rmdir, then space, then hyphen, then capital R, and then space A. Will that work? So it says that illegal option, it won't work because that is not a valid option. So rmdir space hyphen R space A. So it says that illegal option because there is no valid option. And how to really check if what are the possible correct options of this particular command? You have to go to your man page of that particular command. So going inside that manual page, we can see that we only have 3 parameters or options. So we can see that we only have -b, so that approach was absolutely wrong. So but you have to delete the directory. So for that you have to go to or use the command called rm, then space hyphen r, and then the folder's name, A, which is A, and then press enter. So what we can see is earlier on we had a directory called A, but now it has been removed. So which command did we use? We used the command called rm, which means remove the file or folder. Since that the folder A wasn't empty, we had to run this command, this remove directory command or remove command recursively, and for that we used this -r, and then / means current directory. So just to ensure that we don't delete any important directory by mistake, we used this /a, which means that in the current directory in which you are located, you have to delete or you have to do something with a. So when we are using rm, then space r hyphen r and then space dot slash a, it means that remove recursively the folder a which is located in the current directory. So this is how we remove the directory if it is not empty, and if it is empty then it won't ask for anything. It's just that you have to use rm dir followed by the directory's name in case that particular directory is empty. So to create a new file in Linux, we have multiple ways, and the easiest way is to use VI editor. So what is VI editor? It's an editor which is shipped with almost every variant of Linux based operating system. So in case you have Ubuntu or you have Debian, Fedora, chances are there that you will be having VI editor already, so you don't have to download it again. So once you know VI editor, practically you can use any machine, because there will be chances are there that it will be having VI editor in it. So how do we really use it? So just type VI in the console, in the terminal, followed by the file name you want to create. So let's say you want to create U, and press enter. So now we can see that we have this blank screen with practically nothing besides a cursor, a blinking cursor. So how do we really add text into it? So there are different modes in VI editor, and we have to just type or press I key, which says insert mode. So now insert mode has activated. Now you can insert or add content or data or words, anything in this particular file. So just type being skilled is so helpful, and now save this file by pressing escape key and then a colon and then W and then Q. So basically it means that write the contents which you have typed and then quit the file. So now we can see that we have quit the file. So what all happened in this step? If we will just type ls-al, we can see there is a new file called U, and if you want to read the contents of U file, then you can just type cat space U. So cat actually shows the content of the file. So we can see that this is the content, or this is the data which is there inside U file. Now let's go to VI editor to see the contents of that particular file. So just type VI, then the file name, and then press enter. So we can see that we have that content which we saved moments ago. So there is one more editor which is nano. So just type nano space,
alert from
nano
updates
space,
available.
So just type nano. So just type nano space U, and a new editor will open in which you can see the content of the file. You can also add or modify the file. Hello, this is great, and just click on just press Ctrl and O, and then it asks you to actually do you want to write the content which you have modified or edit. So just press enter, and so it says that 2 files are written, and now we have to exit. So just press Ctrl X. The cursor won't work because it only takes the keyboard inputs, not the cursors. So you will be very helpless when you're using mouse. So now if you use cat and then you can see that new line is also there. Hello, this is great. So this is how we create a new file in Linux, Unix, and this is how we see the output of the file, and this is how we modify the contents of the file in Linux or Unix. So now let's learn about CP command. What is CP command? So CP command is for copying any file or folder. So let's try to use it. So we can see that we have got three directories and two files in this folder. So what we will do is we will just copy a file called B, and we will copy its contents to a file called ABC. So let's do that. CP space the original file or source file, and then space, and then the new file in which you want to copy the contents of A. So it says that no such file or directory. It is because A doesn't exist, so we will use B. So it says that B is a directory, so obviously we have to use -r for that. So let's use CP space -r space the directory's name, and then space ABC, which is the new directory's name. Now press enter. Now it has copied all the contents of B directory into ABC directory, and ABC directory is a new directory which has been created. So it's so you can call it duplicate directory of directory B. Now let's copy a file into a new file. So let's use CP space the original file, which is AIJ something, and then the new file. So you can choose any name whatsoever you want, but we are using new file. So press enter. Now what we will say is there is new file called a new file, which is duplicate of AIJ DIFJ. So this is how we copy the file or folder, and we have to remember that when you are copying any directory, then you have to use -r. So it looks like this: CP -r, and then we have a directory called C, and then a new directory. So now this will execute, and we can see that we have new directory, and we have D in the extreme left side. So this is how we copy file or folders in Unix or Linux based operating systems. Let's learn how to move the files. So when you are thinking of moving any particular file, so what it actually means is the original file's content will be moved to a new file, while the original file will be removed. So that's what it means. So let's see how it looks like. So let's say we have a directory, we have a file called new file. So use mv, then new file, and then let's type being skilled. So what will happen is a new dummy file will be created. All the contents of new file will be moved to this new being skilled, which is the new file, and then this new file will be removed. Now press enter. Now if you will see that, if you will check, we can't see the new file because it has been removed, and all the contents has been changed, has been moved to being skilled. So either you can call it renaming, because ultimately what's happening is new file, which is this file, has been renamed, or you can say that a new file has been created and all the contents of this file has been moved to being skilled file. Same goes for any folder. So let's say we have the folder called new dir and we want to change it to new dir1. So it has been, so we can just verify that new dir has been removed while new dir1 is there, which is sort of duplicate of new dir. So this is how we move files or directories in Unix or Linux based operating systems. So when you're using any Linux or Unix command, you will be having access to CLI, and when you're using CLI, then obviously you will be inside any folder. So to know your location where you are presently, you have to use command called pwd. So type pwd, we can see that we are inside bs and then being skilled. So slash means the root, and starting from the root, the first folder is bs, and after that the folder's name is being skilled. So this is called the absolute path. So how do we really know the location, the present location? By using command pwd. So let's say we are having multiple directories in this folder, and we can see that abc is also a directory because we have abc over here, and on the extreme left side there is d means directory. So just cd into it. So cd space abc and press enter, then we are inside abc. So ideally what should happen is, before one step before we were in being skilled directory, and now we are in abc. So the location should be /bs, which is so bs folder is within or inside the root, and then being skilled, and then abc. So if we will type abc pwd, then we can see that the current location is /bs being skilled /abc. So this is how we know the current location of us in Linux or Unix based operating system when you are using command line interface, that is the terminal or the shell. When you're using CLI and you don't have any graphical user interface, and you really want to understand the kind of computer resources being used, so you sort of want to track the resources usage. In Windows we do that using Task Manager. In Ubuntu we do that using Activity Monitor. Even in even in Mac OS we use Activity Monitor. So likewise, every Unix or Linux based operating system has got a command utility called top. So whenever you use it, you will see something like this. It may look a bit cryptic, but the main components of this file is that PID is the first column, which is the process ID of every process which is currently active or not active, but it's there, even any stage whatsoever. Then we have command's name in the second column. So we can see the top command, which we have just started, is using 17 or about 16% of the CPU, which is quite a lot. Then we have time, which means that for how long the command has been running. So so it's not really very old command. Then the important one is mem, which is how much memory or RAM is being used by any particular command in real time. So we can see that 85 is the RAM, being used by plugin -conta something. Then we have state. The is the process running or is the process sleeping? So how do we know that? We have to see using the state. So let's say it's running. We have this I show you software which is running, while we have top command which is also running, and rest of them are sleeping, which are not in the running state. Also on the top we can see that we have processes, how many processes are there in total. Then we have how many processes are running, and then how many processes are sleeping. So if any process is not active in real time, then it is sleeping, while all the active processes are running. Then load average. What do you mean by load average? Ideally it should be so maximum load average is the number of cores present in your processor. So let's say it has dual processor and it has got quad core. So it has got quad core processor, Core i7. So ideally it should be 4, the maximum. We can see that we have 2.5, 2.93, 4.36, which means that there has been extensive load on this processor. Talking about CPU usage, how much percentage of CPU is being used by the system or all of the softwares combined? So it says that 18% of the processing power is being utilized as of now, and 78% of the CPU use capacity is idle. So we can use that sort of CPU processing power. Then we have how much memory is left. So we can see that it has about 3251 MB used and 68 MB unused. So it has got about 4 GB RAM. Then we have virtual RAM as well, virtual size. Then we have network packets. So it shows us how much data has been incoming and how much data is outgoing. So it's about 5 GB and it's about 4.2 GB. And then active in the real time, how much data has been read or written in the disk. So it's about 168 gigs and 108 gigs of data written in the hard disk. And the uptime is about 7 hours. So since 7 hours, so okay, so this is the real time, it's not really the uptime. So this is how we track the resources of the computer by using the command called top.